Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we are going to take a first look at ZERO Sievert, a brand new single-player looter extraction game that is on Steam, early access. We're going to take a look at the first few minutes and see how we feel about it, so please come on in, enjoy, and as always, thanks for watching. Alright guys, here's ZERO Sievert. We're going to go ahead and jump in, start a new game. We'll get to choose our equipment at the start. So when you do multiple playthroughs, multiple save files, you can choose new equipment to start with each time. Really depends on your playstyle, I guess. Yeah, me, I like a nice bit of kind of medium to long range. I'm going to go with the MKM here. You'll start in a bunker, kind of a post-apocalypse bunker full of survivors. They're kind of wary of you, but you can kind of earn your place. Talk to the NPCs, pick up tasks. Complete them, turn them in, and get rewards. Talk to them, learn some of the flavor text, some of the lore. Very good stuff. Plenty in there just to check out, to get your feet wet when you first start, learn about the world. When you go to accept a mission, you can look at your objectives. You can look at the flavor text for it, all that. You can see the rewards that you're going to get, so you kind of have an idea, maybe what you want to work towards completing first. We're going to go ahead and select these tasks. Go in, you can trade with the NPCs. They have plenty of categories in their inventories to look through, whether it's skill books, armor, weapons, weapon parts, ammo, food, medical supplies, all kinds of stuff. Depends on the NPC, so make sure that when you talk to them, check out what they have. Make sure you go through all the categories, see what they offer. Gives you an idea of, well, I want to save my money for this, I want to save my money for that, and I'm going to tell you what, nothing in this game is cheap. So you're not going to be buying a bunch of stuff at the beginning, but you can kind of get an idea of what you kind of want to work towards. Good way to start. Whether you want that big backpack right off the bat, whether you want to grab this nice new armor set straight away, maybe take some time, look through it. Here's your survivors kind of area where you'll be able to build up your modules and kind of customize it to how you want it. Stash. Make sure you don't take everything with you into raids, right? You have limited space, so do yourself a favor, especially when you start. Just look at what you've got and take only what you think you're gonna need. Maybe a bottle of water, a little bit of food, your ammo. Make sure you really put your health here on the hot bar, bandages, med kits, stuff like that. Make sure you have a little bit of everything to survive your time in the wilderness. Here you got your crafting station, so you'll be able to craft ammo, food, med supplies. You'll be able to modify your weapons, repair stuff, create modules to install in your survivor's area. Some things are going to be locked behind certain tasks or certain modules, stuff like that, so keep that in mind. You're not going to be able to do everything right away. Here, like this is your weapon screen. You can kind of see some of the categories of mod you'll get here. These are your modules that you can build, whether it's a bedroom, more storage, kitchen, gym, stuff like that. You can track your items that you need, so that way as you're looting through the game, you'll know what to look for. Some areas are going to be restricted to you at first, so keep that in mind. Here is our conductor. This is the guy that's going to drop us off so we can go raiding. He'll also have some flavor text, some tasks, stuff like that, so check that out. When you go to leave, you're going to have an option of, right now, 5 different maps that are available. There's 3 more, as you can see, that are in development. Again, this is early access, so not everything is readily available, but there's still plenty to do. Forest that's your first one. That's where we're going to go. That's where your beginner missions are going to be. So he's going to drop us off here, ride the train. There we go, out in the wilderness. So here's your map. You can pull it up. Take a look at what's around you. The dark green circles represent your extraction points when you're done with the raid. Here you got a little bit of everything that you can take a look at, whether it's your tasks that you currently have, your stats. How many times have you survived against how many times that you've tried, Here's all your skills, so you can kind of see kind of what to expect that you'll be able to level up as you play. Pretty standard stuff, I think. This is just a layout of your survivors area. So these are where your modules get installed and stuff like that. Not really relevant to being in the raid, but there you go. Relations, again, in development. It's another thing they're working on. But good idea. The map's not always going to be the same. You're going to find the same modules within the map, but they're not always going to be in the same place. And there's going to be some randomized stuff. So don't expect to like memorize a map and then be able to do some sort of super uber efficient run through without having to look at where you're at. Bunnies, not evil. Those ghouls down there, kind of evil. So there's good and bad on the map. So just be wary. You want to look at where you're going. You don't want to just run headlong into stuff. You'll find stashes like this throughout the map. As far as I can tell, completely randomized loot. I have found all kinds of different things in these stashes. I don't know that I found any weapons or anything like that, but all kinds of different healing stuff, food stuff, materials. You'll find houses that you can enter. Some have loot, some don't. Some have people, some don't. So there's a bunny. We need the meat. That's one of our missions, right? Is to collect some of this raw meat to turn in. Oh, and we've got some bandits here. So there we go. Took him out pretty quick. Keep in mind, you can see the shadows moving as we move. So our line of sight is affected in this game by what's around you. So what you don't want to do is just run out like way out into the open unless you need to get around, like you kind of needed to cut around the angle of the house to hit him. But you don't want to also just stand out there and sit still and shoot, because the AI will also move around cover and stuff like that. So be aware of that when you're fighting, and you can die very quickly. So don't take it for granted that you're going to be able to sit there and outgun 10 bandits while just standing out in the field not doing anything, because they are going to use the cover. They're going to move around. They will try to flank you. It's happened to me before. So keep that in mind. Try to take your time in the fights. Try to find those angles. Use cover for yourself. Use line of sight for yourself. And shoot as you go. Of course, loot them when you're done. Steal their ammo. Steal their guns. Whatever you need. Now, keep in mind, you do have limited space. You're not going to be able to take every single gun with you. So take what you need. We've got some ghouls here. Oh, we missed everything. Now, you'll see right there, we took some... Got a blood drop symbol with a number in it. That's how many bleeding wounds you have. You need to use bandages to heal those, otherwise you'll continue to take damage over time. You'll also notice that the health bar now has a gray and a dark gray section. The light gray representing the amount of health you could still heal. The dark gray representing wounds, which you cannot heal the HP through that until the wound itself is healed. So there's several layers to your character's health and how you take care of that. So keep that in mind. The food and water, radiation, energy, you can see those bars up there as well. Green is good. White is, it's not bad, but you're starting to get negative effects. And then beyond that, of course, it gets worse and worse. So make sure you try to keep those green. If they're white, they can affect your carry weight, for example, which, you know, you want to get as much stuff as you can. You want to be able to carry all of it, right? All right, here we go. We got some more. And you can actually see how they're shouting cover and they're kind of moving around based on your line of sight and their line of sight. When you're scoped in or ADS'd in, they are, from what I can tell, are more likely to stay behind cover as best they can. So you might use that to draw them out. I'm kind of, right now I'm going between the different trees and rocks to kind of affect their line of sight on me instead of coming out of the tree line until I feel like it's necessary to move that way. So once it maybe gets a little quiet, you might need to actually move out, get a little bit closer and see if you can really maybe draw them out, or maybe they're all dead, but better safe than sorry. You can see the blood represents at least where you've hit somebody. So it gives you an idea of where they might be. And of course, we'll go in now. It looks safe. We're going to loot everything up, all that good stuff. You can hear that radiation sound. It sounds like a Geiger counter. When you get near stuff that is irradiated, that will start to happen. And you do want to keep an eye on your radiation meter. Certain areas are far, far worse than others, right? So this not too bad. But be aware of that. Don't stand in it for too long, because you can see we've now gone down slightly, so we can take a radiation pill to counteract that. Again, white's not like a bad thing, but green is ideal. Same with the boil. I'm going to go ahead and drink some water as well. And really, considering what our current tasks were, like really we want to find meat. That's really the first thing. We want to survive. That's one of our tasks, and find meat is one of them. But we're kind of having fun fighting some bandits. Now you will find areas like this where you notice a bunch of dead bodies. Something was here. This world is living. Something happened before we got here, and there are always chances that when you come across something like this and you see dead bodies, there could very easily be army walking around. They call it the Green Army. They could be walking around. It could be other bandits. It could be ghouls, wolves, boars. Like there's so many things that could cause this, and they will fight each other. So going into these areas, keep your eye out, because whatever killed them, it's still around, possibly somewhere. Now it's if it was like the Green Army and they killed them, they might have wandered off. If they were patrolling, they might have continued to wander off, anything like that. But be on your guard. Now, most of these kind of little compound areas will usually have loot crates to go through. Always love finding a medication box, because it never hurts to have more med kits, more bandages, syringes, you know. And you'll and there's a few various types. You have this weapon box. You've got medical box. You've got like materials boxes. You've got another box, type of box that has like weapon attachments and stuff in it. And you'll learn they look the same. They, you know, medical boxes always look like that. Materials boxes always. So sorry, Bunny. I mean, Bunny's it's a safe, easy way to get meat. It just is what it is, unfortunately. So the yellow borders represent the items you need that you've tagged for missions, that you've tagged for modules. So it gives you a good idea. Like, I see the yellow border, I need to grab that. Unless you already know, well, I've already got enough of that item for that task. I don't need any more. That's fine. But it at least gives you an idea of what you're looking for. And as you play, you know, you might start to notice like certain things that maybe you don't need right away, but you want to keep your eye out for and pick it up anyways. So we're gonna continue on here. You can see that our green bar up top, that's our stamina bar. As we sprint, it does go down. And if you are over encumbered, you won't be able to sprint at all anyways. There you'll see a bunch of green stuff on the left side. Anomalies and radiation, so far more dangerous areas to hang out in if you don't have radiation protection. So keep that in mind. You can certainly travel through it quickly, but you don't really want to stay in an area like that unless you have the proper protection. So keep that in mind. Again, you'll hear the Geiger sounds, so you hear it. Look at where you are. Make sure you're not sitting in the middle of an anomaly. You can die pretty quickly in those, so just be aware of that. Here you can see that we are over encumbered. We're walking quite slow. So we kind of have to make a decision here. You can see our kilograms there at the bottom. You can see how overweight we are. So we need to make a decision about what we want to keep on us. Probably not the best idea to force yourself to walk in what is essentially a very hostile area in general. So take what you need. If you're close enough to being able to extract, yeah, maybe you take some extra stuff with you at that point. Check your tasks, make sure you got what you need. Here you can see the wounds I was talking about. So that's the amount of health I won't be able to heal without repairing the wounds. You can see another radiated area up there. Not great, but we're just gonna go south of that and avoid it. And here we are walking towards our extraction point. Now, as I said, if you are overweight, which we are because we're thirsty now, so that has affected our total weight. But we're so close to the extraction point, it's okay. It's not a big deal. So you just need to walk into it. Again, there's going to be 2 on the map, so look for them, and you'll get this countdown until you're safe. So if you have something running after you, you're not going to be safe just because you walk in there. Your end screen, the amount of experience that you've gained, what level are you, the approximate value of rubles from the gear you have. There we go. We got all our pop-ups. So our first steps quest is complete. We can turn that into the barman up here. He's saying, just survive and I'll give you something. Here's where we get to, again, select the reward we want. We're going to go with the medicine book, you know. These are skill books. Gain reward. Bam. There you go. Check, make sure. Oh, we've got another task from him. Awesome. So let's take that. So, you know, it's very, I mean, anyone familiar with RPG and roguelites and stuff like that, it's very simple. It's very much within that realm. You can heal your wounds, radiation health. You can repair your armor. The doctor is good for that kind of stuff. Turn in our raw meat mission to him, get all that. So this is kind of what we've seen is the general outline of how this game operates. Roguelite elements, survivor elements, you know, RPG, all that good stuff. And really, as far as I'm concerned, for it being early access, this game offers a lot already. I think I've put 12 hours in, and it didn't feel like that. I died a lot, but I learned a lot. And here, again, we talked about the weapon mods, but now you can kind of see a better idea. Like, we want to take the scope off our AK, put it on the MKM, because it kind of makes more sense to have that on our marksman rifle, you know. So you could swap mods around as necessary. You can see that the mods will tell you what weapons you're compatible with. They'll give you the stats for it, all that good stuff. Make sure that you're keeping your weapons and armor repaired, because they will break, and as they get worse and worse, they become less effective. So here's a little fast forward. We've built ourselves a couch and a bed. We've got significantly more stash space now, which we've gotten from building a stash, doing tasks, all that good stuff. You can see our weapons are looking a little more modified. We've got a bigger backpack now. And here's an example. I mean, you can attach rails and put laser sights and foregrips, and you can get cooler scopes, and all kinds of goodies. So anyone familiar with games where weapon modding is a big part of it, you'll be familiar with all this. We've unlocked one of these newer areas that gives us access to more NPCs. So here we can kind of check out. This guy offers some more interesting gear, dynamite, night vision, military armor, lots of goodies, all kinds of fun stuff. Lots of ammo for this guy. New weapons that we don't have access to otherwise yet. Plenty of weapon mods, all that. So there's our first look at ZERO Sievert. It has been a lot of fun. I would say, as far as an early access product goes, I have got my money's worth already. I'm looking forward to this game as it continues to develop. It's fun. It's great. You can play it in 20-minute bursts. I love that. I love that I can sit down for 20 minutes and play a raid and have fun. Your progress isn't fully lost if you die. You only reset to where you were right before you went on the train. But your skills, of course, you'll keep those. You can continue to upgrade them. You can choose specializations, all that good stuff. But all of your other progress will be reset. But you don't lose the stuff that you went in the raid with, which I like, because it makes it a little more casual friendly, especially when you don't have a ton of time to grind something out. So there you go, guys. ZERO Sievert. I've had just a ton of fun with it. I hope you guys too. Check it out. Get your weapons modded up. Get out there. Do some killing and looting. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.